I'm here with former Speaker of the House Newt Gingrich at the NRA annual meetings in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and thank you again for talking to us. I know you're going to be speaking to the crowd at the Celebration of American Values Leadership Forum, and we're coming up here on the 2012 elections. How important is the Second Amendment going to play? How important is it going to be in terms of the next presidential election race?
Well, I think first of all, no Republican nominee will be nominated who is not a Second Amendment supporter. And so in that sense, it's very important just defining the race. And second, I believe because the Obama administration is so clearly trying to undermine the Second Amendment through international treaties and through judicial appointments, I think that in a number of key states in the general election, the activity, the energy, the conversations of NRA members could well be decisive in 10 or 12 different states. I can imagine in Pennsylvania, in Wisconsin, that there are a number of places in Michigan where you have a lot of NRA members who are energized and who understand why they believe in the Constitution. And I think they can play that key marginal 3 or 4 percentage point difference that could decide that a state went for the Republican nominee or went for President Obama.
You talk a lot about the importance of the Founding Fathers and what they would have thought about the Second Amendment today. And yet it seems like a lot of our opponents dismiss the idea of the founders, dismiss the idea of the Bill of Rights. They say, wow, this was written in 1791. It doesn't have any relevance to us today.
Well, look, if you're a modern liberal, you can't believe in history. You can't study history. You can't know history because it all proves that your ideas are nonsense. And so in order to be true to liberalism, you really almost have to have amnesia. Now, I come from a totally different background. I believe that the Founding Fathers created a remarkable understanding of how humans can govern themselves. I think it is a permanent capability that we should be very grateful that this generation of people understood that our rights come from our Creator, understood that you want to have limited effective government, understood that you had to preserve to the people the rights to fire those to whom they loan power. It's been a very successful system, and it's a little strange that liberals want to undermine and eliminate the very system which has made us the most prosperous, the freest, and the most successful integrating society in the world. More people come from more places to become Americans than any other society in human history, and yet much of modern liberalism would tear down the very foundations on which our success has been built.
So do you see then the Second Amendment issue and the gun control fight as part of a larger battle between the ideas of conservatism versus liberalism, or the ideas that history does have relevance versus the idea that we can just make it up as we go along?
Well, I think the Second Amendment battle has two very different components to it. One is, it is inevitably embedded in history because the history of the Founding Fathers, the history of the Revolutionary War, is a history which is at the core of why we decided that your right to bear arms predates the Constitution. Remember, the phrase is, the right to bear arms shall not be abridged. It doesn't say we're granting you the right to have arms. They're saying you already had these rights. Second, there is a worldwide desire by governing elites, whether they're dictators or democracies, to take power away from people. I mean, if you are Chavez or Castro or Ahmadinejad or Kim Jong-il, you sure don't want your folks to have the right to bear arms. And I think we need to recognize how much we're part of a worldwide fight over whether or not we have our rights. Excuse me.
That's fine. Speaker,
Okay.
Thank you again for coming on the program today. It's a real pleasure to get a chance to talk to you. Hope we can do it again.
Listen, it's always fun to be here. It's an amazing convention, and it's an honor to be allowed to come back and address the members.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.